Detective Pikachu star Justice Smith features in a smoldering new trailer for the upcoming Amazon Prime film The Voyeurs. The 26-year-old and Sydney Sweeney play a couple named Thomas and Pippa who spy on the sexual escapades of another couple in the apartment opposite. As their fixation on the other couple grows increasingly intense, they find themselves drawn into a dangerous web involving infidelity. Pippa, who is an eye doctor, asks Thomas early in the trailer, "Can we be rebellious before we have kids?" To which he resoundingly agrees. "To making wonderful terrible decisions," he says as they toast with beer bottles, just for their misadventures to begin. They notice that they are able to see into an apartment across the street housing Seb and Julia, played by Ben Hardy and Natasha Luborditso. Initially they both feel a twinge of guilt about voyeuristically peeking at their neighbors, but they eventually get sucked into the thrill. Seb is pictured shirtless, showing off his muscle-bound arms as he wraps them around Julia and they passionately kiss. He also appears to be like a photographer, in Thomas' words, as Seb is seen snapping his lingerie-clad wife as she twirls around the apartment. Julia then clambers on top of Seb in bed in full view of Thomas, who tells his own wife, "Oh, they're in love." Pippa begins to have misgivings about the spying, telling a colleague, "Just because someone is allowing you to look in on their lives doesn't mean it's okay to watch." Thomas meanwhile is set on trying to become their friends, and Pippa says in disbelief, "You wanna become BFFs with the neighbors we now seem to be stalking?" Apparently Thomas is getting his own titillation from the experience. He is seen shirtless kissing Pippa's shoulder as she gazes through binoculars at the neighbors. At one point while Pippa is alone in her home, she gazes across at Seb and sees him standing in his underwear, his sculpted figure on full display. She appears to be getting a bit excited herself, as her fingers close around the hem of her boyfriend-fit sweater. However, Seb's eyes eventually move to meet hers across the street and she is so startled that she gasps and drops her drink. In a strange twist of fate, Julia then becomes one of Pippa's patients at her eye clinic, much to the doctor's surprise. Thomas remarks with a laugh on how crazy the coincidence is, and Pippa shares that she and Julia really hit it off. "My husband is a complex individual," Julia tells Pippa, setting the stage for a montage of Seb cheating with multiple women. Seb's camera can also be seen through his window during his extramarital encounters, suggesting his photography is a constant all over his love life. "This mother be a little problematic," says Thomas with comic understatement, and Pippa says, "I just wish we could hear what they were saying." Through some kind of skullduggery it appears they manage to plant a tracking device in Seb and Julia's house. While Seb is with another woman, whose face is shielded behind a colorful mask, he can be heard on tape asking, "Don't you ever feel guilty?" Seb has moments of temper as well, as when Pippa looks through her cracked binoculars and sees him flinging something at a wall. Pippa and Thomas do find other amusements besides voyeurism. At one point they are seen in costume dancing together at a masked ball. But their obsession with the inner lives of their neighbors evidently begins to become consuming enough for Pippa to comment on it. "It's like when you're so obsessed with something you forget to look around and go, 'What am I even doing?'" she says. In one evocative scene, Pippa is sitting alone at a booth table at a bar, when Seb sees her from across the room. He saunters over to her table, sits down across from her, gazes intensely into her eyes and asks, "Would it be strange if I asked to take your picture?" Thomas experiences a dawn of realization that his wife's eye is wandering as he asks her outright, "Am I not enough for you?" Brief snatches of ominous action occur, including Seb and Julia looking at a typewritten note that reads simply, "I know." The situation apparently goes to Julia's head as she is seen ranging wildly around her apartment and smashing glass. Julia is seen at one point lifting a large knife and staring down at it, and at another point she is spotted plunging it into an unseen target. At the end of the trailer, Pippa looks through her binoculars with a horrified expression as Thomas asks, "Pippa, what did you do?"